Hey friend, welcome back. So why is it important to prepare your skin for summer, especially if you have skin of color? And it's very important if you are 40 plus and you're a female. And reason being is that you are probably in perimenopause and your skin is already going through a lot of changes. And if you add UV sun damage to it, it can cause havoc on your skin. So first we're going to talk about two supplements that you can add to your routine during summer period. So the first one is called Heliocare. So I got introduced to this last year. This is based on PLE technology. This is called a fern block instead of sunblock, and it gives you a sun protection from within. So in 1990s, a Harvard professor noticed that the villagers in South America used to chew on a fern before they go out hunting. And his research revealed that there's a compound in that fern is called a polypodium leucotomus. That's where PLE comes from, and that compound has a photoprotective effect. So that compound was extracted, and that's how this supplement came into being. So it gives you all body protection. Now keep in mind that this is not a replacement for a sunscreen. This is in addition to your sunscreen. So it's a very good antioxidant. Again, it has like around 11 and 12 SPF protection, and I believe this helped my melasma not coming back last summer. So I started like in late April or early May, and then I took it all the way till I believe it was mid-September. And then I stopped. So the dosage is like 2 capsules every day. It is readily available on Amazon. So there are two types. There's one basic Heliocare that only have the active ingredient PLE, and that is I believe $29. And then there is a Heliocare Advanced. Now this has nicotinamide in addition to the active ingredient PLE, and this is around $39. And this will last you like 2 months. So what is the second supplement that you can add to your routine in summer is an electrolyte. Now, to be honest, I never, paid much attention to electrolyte. I mean, they were always somebody was selling them at some point. But last year, somebody told me because I was feeling very tired, lethargic, so I was advised to kind of try electrolyte. I tried this one is from Element, and it made a huge difference. And what I noticed that made a huge difference in my skin. So when you accumulate birthdays, you can tell if you are dehydrated because your skin will look dull and your fine lines and wrinkles will be pronounced. So I remember that point I kind of realized that I can easily tell if I'm dehydrated. So I don't take this every day. I take it maybe once every other day. Sometimes once every 2 3 days, but I definitely take this when I'm spending most of my time outdoors and when I am doing heavy workout. Now you can use any brand. I just use this. They have a lot of flavors. My favorite is orange salt. I believe they also have an unflavored powder that they sell. So these two things will really get you through summer. Now we're going to talk about what changes you can make in your AM skincare. I'm going to do a part two for PM skincare. For right now, we're just going to focus on the AM. So we're going to look at the face wash, and then we're going to look at your eye area, and eye area also covers the eyebrow, lashes, and your under eye. And then want to look at the actives, the two important actives that you want to be able to incorporate in your AM routine. And then, of course, we're going to talk about sunscreen, the most important one. So face wash in the AM, I just use water to wash my face unless I have used an occlusive overnight, either Vaseline or some oil that I'm using to kind of help repair the skin barrier. And that is usually when I have microneedled or I have used some kind of a medium peel. Other than that, if I'm just doing my normal night care, I just use water in the morning to wash my face. But if I do use a face wash, I use a CeraVe face wash, hydrating facial cleanser. It's really gentle. It's very reasonably priced, and it's get the job done. Now moving to the eye area. Now, if you are really not overly concerned with your eye area, your eyebrows, your lashes, you can skip this part. But what I have learned is that using the serum for your eyelashes and eyebrow, they really work, and they do bring your hair and your eyebrow and lashes back. So that's something that I again recently learned. So in the AM, what I do, I use the eyebrow and lash serum from the Ordinary. It's called the multi-peptide lash and brow serum. It works just fine. So I just take one, I swipe it on my eyebrow, then I swipe it on my eyelashes, and I do the same from the other side. And for the under eye area, now this is what I've learned. I used to just, drag whatever I'm using on my face all the way to my under eye and call it a day. But recently I've used some products that are formulated especially for under eye area, and when I started using those, I noticed a difference. So I was like, okay, maybe I need to pay attention to these kind of product, or it could be just, as you're aging, your skin is changing. So before, I really did not need that. Whatever I was using for face was working just fine for my under eye. But as we accumulate birthday, your skin changes, especially your under eye skin is so thin. If you decide to give it a special, care, a little extra love, that should be just fine. So for under eye, again, I use the Ordinary. It is multi-peptide eye serum. It's oil based, so I just use 2 drops of oil, and I just gently massage my under eye and my lid. Now, one thing that I have discovered, and this kind of off-label use. I mean, off-label in the sense this is for eye. So whenever I have a leftover, I kind of rub it on my upper lip, like my I call the vermilion border. So I gently massage it. So I was just doing it because I have leftover. I don't want to waste it. But then I just noticed a difference, because as you grow old, your border starts getting like patchy, so it's not that well defined. But I'm sure it's that I'm not using anything else on my lips. It This made a huge difference. So there's something that I just discovered and wanted to share. Now moving on to the actives for AM. The first category is antioxidant, and of course, the most famous and my favorite antioxidant is vitamin C. So the most researched vitamin C type is L-ascorbic acid. Problem with the L-ascorbic acid is that it is very unstable, and it can easily get oxidized. So it's very, very important when you are looking for vitamin C, you make sure that it is in an airtight container like this one. And if the container is a glass, it's a dark glass, so the UV rays cannot reach the serum and oxidize it. So I use the Timeless 20% vitamin C, ferulic acid, vitamin E. So when I was learning about skin of color, I just realized that 20% is really high for skin of color. So you should always not go above 10%. But by the time I learned that, I was using this for more than a year, and this was working just fine. So I just stuck with it. Timeless comes in 2 sizes. This is like almost 4 fluid ounces is $73. It lasts forever. I also use vitamin C for my body. So this works just fine. But it comes in a smaller now packaging is 1.7 fluid ounce, and that's like $27. So you can check that out. Great formulation, is very reasonable, and it's a very important component of your skincare routine. Now moving towards your active for your pigment suppression. For AM, I use Queen New York 7-in-1 White and Bright Super Serum. This has 7 melanin suppressing ingredient in it. So it has licorice root, kojic acid, glutathione, niacinamide, and many more. It's $20. Is 1 fluid ounce. It lasts you for 2 months. I do one pump, and I just use it in the AM. And I really like it. The formulation is very nice. It's water based. It just goes in get absorbed in your skin, so you can just move on for your next step. One thing I forgot to tell you about the vitamin C. So we talked about L-ascorbic acid, right? So you have to make sure that it's a stable formulation. But they are also a derivative for vitamin C. They are as potent and less irritable. So if you're one of those people who vitamin C, L-ascorbic acid doesn't work for you, you can look at the derivative. Now, the most important derivative, which is lipid soluble, which is great because then it can penetrate even deeper and stimulate collagen, is THD, is tetrahexadecyl ascorbate. It's one of my favorite derivative, and you'll find it in so many formulation because it's easy to mix with other active component. This one when you are layering using L-ascorbic acid, it kind of decreases the pH of your skin. And if the other actives need a little bit higher pH, you are actually neutralizing everything. You're neutralizing your vitamin C, you're neutralizing the other active. So either you apply and wait like good 2-3 minutes maybe, and then you layer, or you can just use vitamin C derivative instead, so you can just keep going on. All right, so now moving to moisturizer. So there, in summer you can just skip the moisturizer if your skin is feeling just hydrated and radiant and bouncy. But if you're on a drier side and you still want to use some kind of moisturizer, I use this ordinary moisturizer. It's phytoceramide one. I love this. The formulation, it's so good. It's just get absorbed right away, and it's so hydrating. I love the feel of this formulation. So in summer I use this if I feel like my skin needs some hydration. Now, moving to the most important part, sunscreen. The best sunscreen is the one that you will use every day. So I know there are two categories. There's a chemical one, there's a mineral one. These days the hype is all about the mineral one, which is rightfully so. So in the mineral sunscreen doesn't get absorbed into your skin. Basically it just sits on your skin and it reflects all the UV radiation. Whereas the chemical sunscreen, the way it's designed, it has the compound that kind of get absorbed in your skin, and then it converts the UV radiation into a heat and releases it. Again, the best one will be whatever you use every day. But I'm going to talk about mineral sunscreen because that's the one that I like. So for the mineral ones, you are looking at sunscreen, especially if you're living in an area that is really hot. I live in Texas, so our summer starts really early and it ends like September is also kind of hot. So you're looking at end of September. So I make sure that I use SPF 50 plus for all my sunscreen. So for mineral one, you're looking at zinc oxide, titanium oxide. Make sure the concentration of this is around 10%. If it's less than that, just go get another one. There's so many sunscreen these days, and the Korean skincare market have blown American sunscreen off the charts. I mean, there's so much competition. So if you don't like one thing, you can go and search and try something else. So I, on regular basis, use Blue Lizard sunscreen. This is an Australian sunscreen, and again is a mineral, and it has 8% of titanium dioxide and 10% of zinc dioxide. It gives a very bad white cast, but you just have to wait 5 minutes and then it will kind of disappear. But in the first 5 minutes you'll look like a clown. I'm not, joking. But you let it sit, it will get absorbed. And if you do not like the shine that it gives, you can always put some kind of foundation or kind of concealer to kind of neutralize the color, or you can use some powder to bring down the shine. I just leave it as it is. I use that sometimes when my eyes are too puffy or I have like a lot of blue veins showing, then I just use a little bit of concealer and just pat under the eye, and call it a day. Now when we are talking about sunscreen, there are two things you have to keep in mind. Now with the sunscreen, you cannot just do dot 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 dot. You will not get the SPF protection that they're claiming on the packaging. So you have to use 2 fingers length worth of sunscreen on your face and your neck. So you can do it one time to just see how much volume we are talking about, and it will get messy, especially if the formulation is kind of runny. But I think it's important. So you can do it together with the kids. I did that. It was kind of fun. It was messy. But if it's messy when you're applying it, it means you're doing the right way. So that's one thing. The second thing is that you have to reapply. You have to reapply every 2 hours, and this is the part that it's so hard, especially if you're working. It's really hard to stop what you're doing in your office and you pull out your sunscreen and reapply on top of the makeup. It's just not happening. So what I do instead is that right before I'm about to leave the building, I use this powder. It's by Color Science. It's also 50 plus SPF, and I do like really good 3 passes on it. And on top of my makeup, I just and I go outside. But if I'm outside for a longer period of time, especially if I'm like shopping or if I'm with my friends, then sometimes I just take one of my sunscreens. So the other sunscreen that I use is also by Color Science, is Color Science Flex. This is my favorite, but it's expensive. So the Blue Lizard one was like $12 for it's like 5 fluid ounces, so you get a lot. And that's when you won't be stingy, because if it's expensive, like it's just natural to be stingy when you're using it. For this one, I use it when I'm like really going out, because it's tinted. You don't have to wear foundation or concealer unless you use heavy coverage. Then, I mean, of course, you will need to put a foundation on top of your sunscreen. I also got another one. I This is my fourth bottle for the Color Science Flex. I really liked this so much that I ordered their Glow. Now the Glow is a very runny formula, and it's like really shiny. So what I do sometimes, if I want a little shine, I mix these two together. I just take like 2 drops of the Glow, and for the Glow you have to like mix it really well. For the Flex, you can just open it and use it. Um, the other product that I got from Color Science is their 3-in-1 Total Eye Care. Now this gives you 35 SPF protection. This is $79, and I got it a long time ago. It is so expensive that I just I only use it when I feel like, okay, I'm like I said, going out. I don't use it every day, because in my mind I'm like, it's so expensive. I need to drag it out for as long as possible. Now it has, of course, the SPF. It has mineral oxides, compounds in it, but it also has peptides. That's why it's like 3-in-1 Total Eye Care. Once I'm run out of this, I'm not gonna repurchase. I think it's just ridiculously expensive. So what I do, I just drag whatever sunscreen I'm using on my face to my under eye, and now I got 50 SPF protection under my eye instead of getting 35. So again, sunscreen non-negotiable. You have to use it, not only for anti-aging purposes, also to help your skin get protection from garden variety of different skin cancer. So that's pretty much it. And then what I am going to show you is like what are the things that I wear in the summer when I'm walking outside, or whenever I'm leaving my house. This is how I look like. So I'll see you outside. Welcome to my backyard. Now I just want to demonstrate all the things that I wear when I am going out. So after making sure that I have put my sunscreen the right amount and waited 10-15 minutes, because that's how long it takes for the sunscreen to start working. If I am wearing sleeves like that where my arms is exposed, so either I wear a UV protective jacket, or I have these long sleeves of gloves. Actually have a shorter version too that I keep in my car. And then I just wear those. Okay, making sure that I'm wearing it on the correct side. Yeah, there we go. And you can find these on Amazon. So they come in 2 pairs. Again, I have a long version and a small version. The most important thing that I wear all the time when the UV index is 3 or above is this wide brim hat. And I also do this. Now, you might feel that people make fun of you, and they probably will, but who cares? You have to protect your skin. And then you put your sunglasses on. So I make sure that none of my skin is visible in the sun. I always wear socks when the UV index is higher. So that's pretty much it. One thing that you have to take care of is that you have to wash this every 2-3 days because of the sunscreen and the sweat. These caps get dirty really fast. So you just hand wash them really quickly. Get at least 2 so you can keep them in rotation. It will really help your skin stay pigment free throughout the summer. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.